Alex Eala and Alina Chareva are set to meet again in Birmingham, and the last time these two shared a court, Chareva walked away in silence while 2,000 Filipino fans roared around her, a silence that has now had 5 months to turn into something far more dangerous. On June 4, 2026, at the Edgbaston Priory Club during the Birmingham Open Round of 16, the third chapter of one of women's tennis's most quietly intense rivalries will unfold, with top-seeded Alexandra Eala facing unseeded Alina Chareva, their head-to-head locked at 1 win each and every point between them carrying the weight of unfinished business. To understand what is about to happen on that grass court, you have to go back to January 26 in Manila, where the score told only half the story. The Philippine Women's Open, a WTA 125 event at the newly renovated Rizal Memorial Tennis Center, marked the first time Alexandra Eala had played on home soil in nearly 9 years, and over 2,000 spectators filled the stadium, flags waving and noise never fading as Alina Chareva stepped directly into the middle of it all. What followed wasn't just a match but a statement. Eala dominated the first set in just 24 minutes, 6-1, as Chareva, 3 years older and ranked nearly 100 places lower at the time, struggled to cope with both the weight of Eala's baseline power and the pressure of the crowd, and just when the second set might have offered her a reset at 1-2 down, she called for a medical timeout. A tense silence fell over the stadium, and when Eala stepped back onto the court, her thigh was heavily bandaged, but that was where the story shifted. Instead of tightening up or hesitating, she responded with control and aggression, going on a 4-game run and closing out the match in 1 hour and 16 minutes, 6-1, 6-2, a scoreline that doesn't just show defeat but etches it into memory. For Chareva, that match belongs to Manila, and it is exactly what makes Birmingham feel like a continuation rather than a fresh start. But the picture becomes more complicated when you step beyond the narrative. Alexandra Eala is currently ranked world number 37, having reached a career high this June 2026, and as a left-hander she carries a natural structural advantage on grass, where her swinging slice serve drags right-handed opponents wide and keeps the ball low on a surface that already favors aggressive play. Her 2025 grass court record stands at 10 wins and 5 losses, including a runner-up finish at Eastbourne, and in Birmingham's opening round she dismantled Australia's Priscilla Hahn, ranked 143rd in the world, 6-0, 6-2, taking the first set in just 22 minutes without dropping a single game. Eala herself described her current form simply, saying, "I think I have arrived in a much improved state than where I was last year. So I'm happy about that and I'm excited for what the season holds." On paper, everything leans in her direction. Dominant opener, strong grass record, top seed status, and momentum. But that is where the numbers begin to quietly complicate the story. Alina Chareva did not need a favorable draw to reach this point either. In Birmingham's round of 32, she defeated defending champion Greet Minnen 6-3, 6-1, not as a scrappy upset but as a statement win built on authority and timing. Her 2026 season already carries substance. She captured her first WTA 125 title at the Midland, Michigan Tennis Classic in February, beating Guahanyu in the final, and reached the semi-finals of the Trophy Clarins in Paris on clay in May. Her singles record this year stands at 19-12, nearly matching Eala's 19-14, and her underlying numbers tell their own story. A dominance ratio, the percentage of break points created versus break points faced, sitting at 1.036, a figure that quietly signals balance turning into threat. That's a player who generates more pressure than she absorbs. Her first serve points won sit around 68.1%, and she saves 58.5% of break points faced, but the real vulnerability is hidden in plain sight, and it is exactly the kind of weakness Alexandra Eala is built to expose. Chareva's second serve points won dropped to just 35.1%, and on grass, where the ball stays low and returners can step in early, that becomes a constant target. Eala's return game, built on taking the ball early from the left side, will look to turn every second serve into an immediate opening, especially with her 38% breakpoint conversion rate, meaning if Chareva keeps offering chances, the pressure can escalate quickly. And yet, the numbers begin to quietly rewrite the story again. Eala wins 80.7% of matches when she takes the first set, strong, but Chareva is even higher at 90.4%. Then comes the deciding set contrast, where the real tension sits. Eala's career record in third sets is 54 wins from 112 matches, a 48.2% success rate, meaning she actually loses more deciding sets than she wins. Chareva, by comparison, holds 46 wins from 80 deciding sets, a 57.5% win rate. Read that again. If this match reaches a third set, the statistical edge shifts to Chareva. The assumption that Eala dominates and Chareva fades doesn't fully hold under pressure. Instead, the data suggests that if the match becomes tight and extended, the player who lost 6-1, 6-2 in Manila may actually have the stronger closing profile, but there is still a layer that statistics cannot fully capture. At the Italian Open in May 2026, Eala suffered a grade 2 ankle sprain in a loss to world number 2 Elena Rybakina, and after the match, 84-year-old Italian President Sergio Mattarella approached her courtside and held her hand for nearly 10 seconds on camera, telling her, "You lost the match, but you haven't lost Rome. The flags will be back next year. The fans will return, and you will too." The moment went viral across platforms, surpassing 50 million views, and transformed her injury into something larger than a setback. It became part of her comeback narrative heading into Birmingham. 50 million views for a post-match moment involving a tennis player from the Philippines, and at that point the story stops being only about tennis. It becomes a measure of visibility, of global attention, and of what Alex Eala has grown into beyond the rankings. A player whose presence now carries ambitions and expectations that cannot be captured by numbers alone. But that level of exposure comes with a cost. During the Philippine Women's Open in Manila, reports surfaced of Eala becoming the target of manipulated AI-generated images and fabricated narratives circulating across social media, showing how the same visibility that amplified the Mattarella moment to tens of millions of viewers also made her more vulnerable to exploitation in the digital space. None of that disappears when she steps onto court. It travels with her, silently, into every match. Chareva, by contrast, arrives in Birmingham with a different kind of quiet. No viral moments, no presidential handshake, no emotional footage replayed millions of times. Just a 6-1, 6-2 memory in the background and a grass court run that recently ended the defending champions tournament in just 60 minutes. So the question that no preview, ranking, or dataset can fully answer is the one that ultimately decides everything. Which version of this rivalry actually shows up? Is it the Manila version, where Eala's power and the sheer force of the occasion overwhelmed everything before the match could truly settle? Or is it something closer to what the deeper numbers hint at, a longer, tighter contest where Chareva's 57.5% deciding set win rate begins to matter more than reputation or seedings? Eala is the top seed, armed with a strong grass court record, a left-handed advantage, and momentum from a dominant opening round. On paper, she should control this match. But Chareva has already beaten a defending champion this week, already holds a 2026 title, and has spent 5 months carrying the memory of Manila into preparation for this exact moment. The grass at Edgbaston Priory Club on June 4th will decide which of those truths actually matters, and the only certainty both sides of the rivalry share is that whoever loses will leave knowing the story is not finished. It has simply changed shape.